It's the Dutch stone quarry because actually it belongs to Netherlands. It does not belong to Germany, and it has to do with World War II. Because you see, when the war ended, and of course Netherlands needed a lot of stone for the rebuild of the country, the Germans wanted to give this stone quarry as a present to the Germans as a sign of goodwill, let's say, as a goodwill gesture. And the Dutch, though, didn't want any presents from the Germans, so they came to an agreement. They decided they would lease the place for 100 years, so until 2045 it does belong to the Netherlands, for the symbolic amount, of course, of 1 German mark. So the Dutch can extract as much stone as they want from here. They bring it down with big lorries all the way down by the riverbank where there's a big belt, and then ships are loaded with stone and take it back to the Netherlands. Actually, you can see there is a ship already up ahead of us, docked in that part of the... I think we can see a bit clearer the whole process of loading the stones to the barge, which definitely will take the stones back to the Netherlands. And the name is Sooneck Castle and was probably erected as early as the 11th century as well. The Rhine was really heavily polluted because the industries would just drop everything in the river. And then the 5 countries involved in the operation of the river decided to come to an agreement and implement much harsher rules. And the 5 countries I'm talking about is Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, France and Switzerland. And ever since, the situation has improved greatly. Now you have 40 different species of fish in the river, and actually back in the Swiss Alps, salmon has been reintroduced. So things are moving to the right direction. Stretched out area is called Niederheimbach, and it is shadowed by the mighty tower of Schonburg Castle that was completed in 1305. Destroyed, of course, 1689, remember the French campaign, reconstructed in the 19th century. That we have 2 exceptions here with the castles, that they still belong, they're still under private ownership today, and Heimburg is one of them. Actually, the owner is a German gentleman. He owns a biscuits and cookies factory, which apparently must be doing really good, since he can afford a castle here on the Rhine. So ladies and gentlemen, right up ahead of us on the left hand side you can see some mass coming behind the trees. This is Heimburg Castle 30, which German for those of you that are further back on the side that you should be now slowly. The old wine-growing village of Rhine is situated at the opening of the Wispendal Valley into the Rhine Valley. And as I said, above the village at Mr. Vineyards, you can see the Sooneck Castle, the one tower of the castle, the ruin of it, which was erected in the 1300s. And right opposite from Sooneck Castle, on the opposite side, you can see Rhine, a village formerly fortified by a ring wall and governed by Stahleck Castle, which was... It's called Sooneck Castle, and it's just above, it's the only remains of that old town fortification, and the town that you see below Sooneck Castle is called Lo. It was very... So what the rest barons, and that's how they would
He'd probably want the little houses.
Yeah, probably. Caretaker.
If he'd had the big one, he wouldn't have left.
Caretaker. Runs in the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it, groundskeeper.
Stahleck Castle, erected in the 11th century, and was at first the seat of the episcopal governors of Cologne, and a residency of the Palatine Council and center of the Palatinate township near Rhine in the 12th century. This is a very famous island, is because it has a microclimate in it. It has some species that you cannot find so easily around. So, ladies and gentlemen, on our left hand side right now, Werner's Island.
BMWs. Buy more worries.
Beginning of the 70s, it was completely renovated and repaired, and today it serves exclusively for sightseeing and study purposes. But what I would like to point out is the little statue that you see in the front of the castle. Do you see that golden statue of a lion holding a shield and a spear? This is the coat of arms of King Ludwig the Bavarian, and you would find it in every single one of his castle decorations. So that's why you see it here on Palatinate in the Rhine on the right hand side. You can see the little statue of the lion holding a shield and a statue. Just behind it, you have one more castle, Gutenfeld's castle, that got the name after the landgrave Wilhelm of Hesse tried in vain to be seated in 1504. It was partially torn down since 1807, excuse me, and the castle was reconstructed from 1880 in the battle. So that's why the statue is there to commemorate his passing from this spot to the river going facing the border. General Brecher on the Schonburg Castle, private ownership. And after extensive renovation, it was sold to a gentleman. It's under private ownership, ladies and gentlemen, today as well. It's the second and final castle, the last castle that we will see that is still under private ownership. The gentleman that owns the castle is a very famous Michelin chef. I don't know if the name will be known to you. He's very famous. He's Austrian. He's very, very famous in Austria and in Germany. Johann Laffer. Johann Laffer is pretty much involved in all the reality shows about cooking. He has wrote countless books about cooking. And as I said, he owns the castle here. The Rhine River, and like the most other rivers, you would think that the navigational rule is you stick on the right side of the channel, and that is pretty much the international way of cruising in a river. The Rhine River is quite special, and what do I mean by that? There is a rule that overrules every other one, and that rule is that whoever goes upstream against the current has the right of choice. Okay, the captain coming from the opposite side has the right to choose which side of the channel he wants to take. But the part that we are facing right now is a little bit different. Here the priority changes. From now on, after we pass this little town coming up on our left hand side, we will have the priority. We will have the right of choice. Why is that? Now, up ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Strait of the Lorelei. And this is the narrowest place of the river. So, for us, being pushed by the current, and I'm sure you have realized how fast the current is here on the Rhine. This is one of the reasons that the river never freezes over during wintertime. We talk about 5 miles per hour, which is really, really fast. So, being pushed by the current, for us, is much harder to stop than the ships coming from the opposite direction. The ships coming from the opposite direction, if they reduce their speed, with the current, together with the help of the current, they could come to a full stop much easier. If we had to stop, imagine we would have to use reverse in full power in order to be able to stand against the current. So from this point onwards, for a little while, the priority will belong to us. If you look up ahead of us, okay, you can see for yourself that the captain has zero visibility. He cannot see what's coming around the corner. So this is the spot of the river where the traffic lights are coming into action. I will point them out as we pass by next to them, and I will explain how exactly they work and the significance of the traffic lights. How can you read the traffic lights? There are two triangles. Those triangles are significant. Each representing a segment of the river up ahead of the ship. But as you see, they do not face us coming downstream. They face the other ships coming upstream. Why is that? Because they are the ones that need to be careful. They are the ones that need to give priority to us. Okay? We continue normally our navigation, but they need to keep an eye on those black boards along the river. Because as I said, each triangle represents a segment of the river up ahead of them, and each line has a significance. You can see now that the two triangles changed a little bit. Both have the bottom line being lit. What does that mean? It means that that segment of the river has no ship in it. When you see the bottom line being lit, it means there is no ship in that segment. If you see the left diagonal line being lit, that means a ship with a length of up to 110 meters is in that segment. If you see both diagonal lines being lit, like it was a little bit earlier, that means a ship up to 135 meters is in that segment. That was us. They read it, that's how they know how to react. Usually when you have the two diagonal lines, or the reverse, the entire triangle being lit, the ships coming from the opposite direction have to stop and give us the right of